Stop overspending money with these frugal tips. Overspending can be a major challenge, preventing you from hitting your financial goals. But what if we told you this habit could be eliminated by following certain simple tips? It's obviously not an easy task, but literally, anyone can regain control over their finances with the step-by-step frugal tips. So stick around as we get into it. 10. Set a budget. Setting a personal budget is one of the best strategies to curb an impulsive money spending habit. By setting a budget, you gain a clear picture of your financial status, and it becomes easier to see where your money is going and how much is coming in. Adhering to a budget each month may also help you get out and keep out of debt. You should be kind to yourself when making your first budget, as making your budget work for you takes some time. But if you're an expert, re-examine your monthly outlays to identify more areas where you might save on some expenses. Setting a budget also gives you control over how each dollar you make is spent, but make sure to leave some room for contingencies and perhaps a little splurging. This would make it realistic for you to adhere to. 9. Cash-Onlay Policy. This is probably one of the best tips to avoid overspending and save more money. Credit cards are the biggest enablers of overspending because it's far too easy to go above your limit and imagine you will pay later. Almost anything can be borrowed against the future in today's economy, which can offer you a false feeling of financial stability. This is why many of us find ourselves struggling at the end of the month with hefty bills to pay and constant credit card debts. Also, due to the credit card industry's reliance on interest rates, if you can't afford your monthly payments due to excessive spending, you'll end up racking up even more debt, creating a potentially deadly cycle. So, how do you get out of this cycle? It's quite simple, really. Just carry cash and avoid paying for things you can't afford with your card. And although paying in cash for everything may seem ancient, studies show it might be one of the best money-saving techniques. At the beginning of the month, withdraw however much cash you intend to spend and allocate each for the intended purchases. 8. Challenge yourself to a no-spend. While many people adore games that involve spending money, a no-spend money challenge is one of the finest games suitable for anyone prone to overspending. If you haven't previously heard of this challenge, it's also known as a spending freeze. It's usually for a period of time, such as a day, a week, or even a month, during which you push yourself to refrain from making unnecessary purchases. It can assist you in readjusting your budget and getting back on track after an expensive holiday, a month filled with birthdays, or a vacation, or even help you break bad spending habits like impulse buying. You are only permitted to spend money on basics like bills, utilities, mortgage or rent, and insurance. Conversely, you should cut back on spending on things you can do without, such as paid entertainment, new clothing, beauty services, gifts, and anything else that is a want rather than a need. 7. Shop with a goal in mind. One of the most prevalent ways we overspend is by making impulsive purchases. You enter the store to purchase one item, but when you leave, you have 2 full bags and a significantly lighter wallet. We've all been there, done that, dashing over to Target for just toothpaste and shampoo. But as soon as you enter the store, you are drawn to the dollar section and fill your basket with a variety of bright cell phone chargers and water toys for the kids that you are absolutely positive they would love. While there's nothing wrong with that, your brief trip to the store for 2 necessities just went quite pricey, thanks to a few impulsive purchases that seemed harmless at the time. To avoid this, make a list of the things you need to get before you go shopping. With your list in hand, head into the store, and maybe even only hold exactly enough cash for what you would like to purchase. 6. Avoid dining out. After learning to control your impulse spending, the next frugal tip is to control your food spending. This is because food is an area we spend a lot of money on most frequently, and that increases the possibility of going overboard. The easiest way to cut back is to reduce eating out or avoid it entirely. Dining out can be fast, less stressful, and overall very enjoyable, but all this often comes at a price. If you buy lunch 4 times a week for $15, you're spending $60 each week and $240 per month. With that much money, just think how quickly you could pay off your debt. What's more, you can save up to 150% of your monthly budget on food by just cooking your own meals. Dining out doesn't sound so fabulous anymore now, does it? To avoid the temptation, plan your meals for the week ahead and make a list before you go grocery shopping, and try to stick to it. This will save you from wandering around the aisles of the grocery store. Overall, we are not proposing you never treat yourself to a lovely feast on a special occasion or to Sunday breakfast. Just make some cuts and make sure it fits in the budget. 5. Lower prescription drug cost. We'll get to that in a second. I have a favor to ask of you. If you like this video so far, please subscribe to the channel. We can't afford to not spend money on our health. This makes the price of prescription drugs easy to build up for those who have serious or ongoing medical issues. One tip to solve this is to try looking for generic pharmaceuticals and taking advantage of price reductions to save money without compromising your health. Work with your doctor to find generic medicine options wherever you can. They work just as well as name brand drugs and cost much less, which is the whole essence of learning not to overspend. In addition to cost savings, filling prescriptions for 90 days as opposed to 30 may result in better medication compliance, as this can maintain people's health and bring down the cost of healthcare as a whole. Additionally, some manufacturers offer patient support plans and discounts, so be sure to get on some of those too. 4. Find inexpensive hobbies. The easiest approach to quit spending money is, without a doubt, to fill your time with free activities. Since you won't be shopping as much anymore, you need to find something to do to pass the time. Ideally, this activity should not cost any money, as it defeats the whole cause if you're saving money on other purchases and you end up spending it on hobbies. Finding places to go without spending money might seem like an impossible feat in our consumer-minded world, but there are many options for free entertainment. From visiting museums to street fairs, free outdoor movies, art exhibitions, and picnicking in the park with your significant other or friends, you'll find that there are many delightful things to do that do not involve a lot of money. Obtaining a financial education is another proven way to learn how to better manage your money and fill the time created by not shopping or always going out. And the best part is that it comes at no cost. Simply visit your local library and choose one of the top introductory financial literacy books. There's something inexpensive that suits everyone's taste, so jump on this next time you're trying to pass time in a fun way without spending money. 3. Be strategic about sales. Brands are familiar with consumer psychology, so they are well aware of the allure of a dazzling and well-placed sales rack. But have you ever thought about how much you are really spending on all of this savings? Because while we all enjoy a good deal, if you purchase a sweater you had no intention of purchasing only because it is 25% off, you would end up paying 75% more than you otherwise would have. It sounds complicated, but basically that still counts as spending, not saving. Once again, preparing a list before you go out will help you avoid these shopping pitfalls. When you get there, exercise some self-control. If an item that isn't on your list goes on sale, it wasn't meant to be. But if you find yourself thinking about it constantly, put it in your budget for the next month. If you intend to purchase something, find out when the best time to do it is. Customers can predict when prices may be lower because of sales cycles, and some product categories consistently follow specific pricing patterns. 2. Go for thrifted goods instead. Going for thrifted items could help you curb overspending on expensive purchases of luxury items. For example, Choosing to purchase pre-owned items, such as designer clothing, furniture, and so on, would clearly give you the advantage of a lower cost than if you purchased these items firsthand. This is particularly important when you're seeking to buy a car. New cars lose a lot of value in the first year, so you can save money if you decide to purchase a used vehicle instead. For other purchases, pawn stores, as well as Facebook sales groups, often resell brand name furniture, jewelry, and electronics that have barely been used. However, if you're purchasing something from a private seller, be cautious of fake items and carry out business in a public area. 1. Track your spending. Finally, keeping a spending log is an end approach to learning how to stop overspending. It's a practice of taking track of every dollar you've spent, which helps you develop a greater awareness of your spending patterns. It's simple to assume that a $10 purchase here and a $25 buy there won't amount to much, yet these modest figures can have a far greater effect over time. However, keeping an eye on these figures could help people spend money sensibly, assist them in making better decisions right now, and help identify areas where to make savings. When you start keeping track of your spending, focus on the larger ticket items first. These include any regular withdrawals you anticipate, such as a car payment, a mortgage or rent payment, insurance, student loan payments, or other automatic deductions. Then you can start tracking the smaller purchases once you are aware of how much cash you still have available. Regardless of how unimportant any purchase may seem, log it. Your spend log will show you any areas where you might still be overspending, and if you've been adhering to all the cautious tips and advice. So tell us, between food and shopping, what area do you overspend on, and which tip do you think would be of best help to you? Let us know in the comments.